Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another DJ Force 10X podcast, I should say. Um, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce you guys to Justin. He is from the legendary band Killswitch Engage. Welcome, Justin.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope you don't
Absolutely.
mind if I'm joined by Steve here at the moment. He might come and go, but
I was going to ask who your co was there,
yeah,
but
yeah.
indeed,
He
that's good.
decided he wanted a little FaceTime, I guess, so he's hanging out up here.
That's fair. I'll just make sure my dogs don't see because they'll end up barking at the screen. But that's cool. That's cool. I love that. It's great. But no, like first off, thank you for doing this. Thank you for your time, first and foremost, because I imagine you are busy right now, with everything Kill Switch Engage and leading up to the new album, which we'll talk about in a moment.
Sure. Yeah, it's a little, yeah, the busy is coming up. Got a few weeks still before it gets crazy, but
Okay. That's all good. That's all good. Right.
yeah,
Chill time before this. This won't be too taxing for you. Don't worry. Um, um, but yeah, like I said, we're here to talk about Kill Switch Engage's new album. It's called The Consequence. Let's get this bit out of the way. 21st of February, it is out via Metal Blade Records. So everyone can stop this interview and go listen to that or was it pre-save or pre-order and all that kind
yeah,
of stuff. Um,
good plan. I like that plan.
yeah, I always like to prioritize that bit just purely because it's like this bit is immaterial. The music is the most important thing, and it is an absolutely cracking album, I must say.
Oh, thanks.
People obviously right now can hear there's two tracks you released, which was Forever Aligned, which was the end of last year, and then you've just released I Believe, which was a few weeks ago, last week, I believe.
Yeah, maybe coming up on 2 weeks or something,
Yeah.
something like that.
And how have those been received for you guys? How's that been kind of because they're I wouldn't say they're not like I say it's not massively different, but there is a different energy about them.
Yeah, I guess it's been good. We haven't the real test is going out on playing them on the road. I always think that's the real test, so I don't pay too much attention to everything else before that. But what's trickled back has seemed to be positive. I don't think as I'm talking to you right now, I've talked to a couple other people, and no one said, "What were you guys thinking? Those songs are terrible. Call it a day." So I guess that's a good sign, right?
That yeah, the generally that is. I mean, I wouldn't call out a band for that, but yeah, no, I mean, I've genuinely enjoyed the tracks. Like they took me a little bit by surprise, especially I Believe. I just felt that it had this I want to say positive effect on me. It had this like real kind of rousing effect, if that makes sense.
Good.
Like because obviously this is just the first sort of material you've released since in the last 4.5, 5 years. Um,
Yeah, five
and
and a half maybe. Who knows? I don't know. A
yeah,
long time.
it was a while ago. It was Atonement was the album. I remember that because of the track Signal Fire, which to let you know, it gave me absolute goosebumps when I saw just watched the video. Like I got sent the link to it, push play, and like no spoilers or anything. It was literally like just click on this video, and
Oh,
like Jesse and Howard on the same like track, and like it
the cameo gotcha. That's good.
cameo got me, and it was like it was a proper for me it was a proper moment. I don't know like what the general like consensus was. I mean obviously I know a lot of people like the tracks. I play tracks in my rock club and everything, like a DJ. I play that track. I play sort of some of the older tracks as well. But and that was a real like moment in rock and metal for me. um
Cool.
I'd like obviously it was like kind of passing back of the torch, if you will. Sort of going back.
Yeah, that was no, that was fun. I mean, the song came out great, and it's been fun in the time since we've released that to do that with Howard and to have him just come up and do a bunch of different stuff. We've done some different shows with him, whether it was just that song every now and then, or whether it was like the show we did in Worcester at Metal Fest where he did a few songs. Like it's been great. It's been fun to do. He shows up randomly sometimes and we're like, oh, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I don't know. Like, all right, well, let's come on out and do Signal Fire. He's like, okay. So it's just been fun.
That's great. I absolutely love that. I can't wait for that to happen over here. I mean, I haven't seen you guys live for so long. Um, Whether that's just due to me being not, well, I wasn't in the country for a bit, but like, yeah, I keep missing whenever you guys have come over here. Saw you very early on, sort of like mid, I want to say about 20 years ago. I would say it was around end of Heartache sort of release era. Oh God, where was it? I think it was in London. I just can't remember the venue. It might have been Brixton. It might have been somewhere else. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember either. It's
yeah,
been a long time.
it becomes
A few shows in between. A few
yes,
years, a few shows. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the fact that you guys have been going for 25 years, like it's kind of. I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I feel old. Um,
Oh yeah. It's hilarious. We definitely feel like we've been around for a while. The numbers don't seem real, so
no, that's
but
the
they are. They definitely are.
yeah. No, I went back and checked, um,
Yeah.
just to make sure. But a few more grey hairs appeared on this thing here, and a few more hairs lost at the top underneath this hat as well. So,
That'll
um,
happen.
it's no, it's great to get like obviously you guys have come back with a new album. What I'd like to sort of like because I've heard it, I love it. But what are your sort of like what are you waiting for people to hear off that album? I know you sort of like playing it live, but are there any particular tracks off the album that you're really looking forward to playing?
Um Forever Aligned is one of them for sure. I think that was the one that I personally thought was one of our strongest ones from this group of songs. I was excited that that was going to be the first one to get out there.
Yeah,
Definitely looking forward to that one. There's a bunch of stuff that was fun. That was fun to play. There's some fast stuff on there. There's a lot of blast beats and everything.
yes.
We've been trying to get faster. We don't want to show our age, I guess. So if we try to pretend that we can play faster as we get older, we're going for that. Um, but yeah, there's a bunch of fun stuff on there. It's always good to have new songs to inject some life into the set, as long as they go over well. It can inject life into you and be like, oh, cool, we're playing a new song, and then it can grind the actual concert to a halt if people don't know it, and it kind of sucks the air out of the room. So it's a tricky little balance, but we're about to get on the road and find out which ones work and which ones don't.
I was going to say, obviously, you've got a tour coming up, a US and Canada tour, which we'll talk about in a moment as well. But I was just sort of like curious, as like obviously, being 25 years in, being now, is it 9 albums, I believe? This is going to be your ninth album.
I think so.
How do you devise a set? Obviously, from being a musician myself, I was always enthusiastic about playing the new songs because that over repetition of playing the same thing over and over again can, as a musician and creative person, can get to you. But how are you going about crafting these sets? What are your sort of like priorities for this tour? Obviously,
Yeah.
but,
I mean, there are some you can't realistically do without.
mm,
Like we're not gonna cut My Curse from the set list anytime soon. That'd be a foolish move on our part. But despite, as you mentioned, playing it, songs like that you play over and over again, we're very lucky that when we do play a song that we play over and over again, we're met with this crazy response from the crowd. So it doesn't, in that sense, it doesn't get old. It can get a little Groundhog Day-ish when you kind of have the same exact set list all the time, and but if you mix it up and everything, but it never gets old to play songs that people love to hear and are giving you that kind of reaction. And we're just very lucky that we've got a few of those in the old catalog that we can bust out and be relatively sure that people are going to like them and things are going to go really well. So, and after 25 years, and you start to put a set together, you run out of time a little quicker than you used to as far as adding new stuff in there. So it's a tough balance to try to get new stuff in there. We want to play new stuff. We want to play new songs and promote the album. But we're also not crazy in thinking that people don't want to hear the old stuff. They want to hear the old stuff too. So just getting the balance of that, and I
and
think it's what we usually work on.
is it like is it a band decision? Like, do you guys sit down and figure out this playlist, or has someone already kind of put it together and sort of go with
Yeah,
it?
that usually falls on me a lot. I feel like if I didn't start the process, then we would all walk on the stage and look at each other like, oh, what do we do now? I've tried so hard to get out of it and I just can't. No one else is taking the reins. So I kind of just sort of get the ball rolling a little bit, and then we all kind of have input on on what songs to do. I like having some like rotating spots, so it's not the same every day.
Yeah.
One night maybe there's a spot or two in the set where there was 3 or 4 songs that just kind of rotate in and out, and that kind of can even that is just enough to keep it different.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that like, because obviously you've got quite the back catalogue. Is that an option for you of rotating? You've already answered the question, but rotating certain songs, certain nights that you feel that, you know, like I've gone to see bands on say multiple nights, and there are certain songs that they have flipped in and out. Like I went to go see Depeche Mode as a
Mhm.
random thing that pops to mind. On one night they played Home in one spot, and then the other night they played Strange Love in that same spot. So
Yeah, I think it's an important thing for people like you that go to multiple shows too. That's something we need to keep in mind, that sometimes people are going and seeing it at different times. And the people that are doing that are the massive fans. And you want to make your massive fans happy and you want to do different stuff. I think people would stop being repeat showgoers if you always played the same thing and they knew exactly what was coming every single
yeah,
time.
yeah. Cool. Well, I mean, obviously you got this tour coming up. Like I said, it's a US and Canadian tour. You're hitting. I'm just looking at the dates here. You're hitting a lot of areas. You're hitting some of the big festivals as well in the States. I'm going to highlight those purely because I could go through the entire list of cities you're hitting. But you're playing the Sonic Temple Arts and Music Fest in Cleveland. You got Welcome to Rockville in Daytona. That's a festival I want to go to. I used to live in Tampa, so I was sort of always seeing that like
Yeah.
festival, and it's like literally just across Florida. So it's easier to travel across Florida than it is in the UK. But seeing that lineup on that particular festival was absolute crazy. Like,
Yeah, it should be fun.
and you've got Incarnation as well in Ohio as well in Mansfield.
Hmm.
Along with, I mean, obviously people can go to killswitchengage.com and they can see all the dates, all the tickets, pre-order the album on there as well. That's the important thing. Merch
Yeah,
box.
that is the important thing, right?
Get the vinyl, get the vinyl.
Yeah.
I should,
Or get a couple.
I know
Get some for yourself, get some for your friends, get some backup copies. You never know.
exactly. I do scratch DJing, so like buying doubles is kind of what I do. Uh,
There you go.
but I won't be doing any joke. Well, I might try some Killswitch Engage beat juggling. Let's see if it works with your
Yeah,
fast beats. Let's
give
see.
it a shot.
Give it a go. Um, but yeah, no, I should have got out some of the records. Actually, I've got a couple in my collection. But yeah, obviously, like I say, people know that. But the big thing I want to ask you is there a plan to come over here into UK and Europe? Is that a feasible thing this year?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think the only stuff that's really been announced that's like solidified is that stuff that you're reading that's coming out, the tour that starts in a month,
Yeah.
and the dates that are in May. But yeah, I mean the record's coming out, which means we're gonna go out and play everywhere we can play. So there's a lot of stuff that's being kind of finalized and I guess like nailed down right now.
Yeah.
That isn't quite 100% yet, but it's like close to 100%. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up, and we're gonna get out to everywhere we can get. I mean, Europe in general has been great to us over the years. We've had some incredible shows in the UK. Where in the UK are you based?
I'm kind of just south of London, about
Okay.
about a half an hour sort of train ride out from London, basically.
Yeah, we've had amazing shows there. I mean, you mentioned Brixton.
Yeah.
We've had some crazy shows there. Um, We've 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 got great love from Germany over the years, so that's all on the docket for sure, and will happen one way or another soon. I'm sure by the end of this year it'll happen soon, but I don't have any specifics yet. So,
Okay.
but obviously with the new record, that's what you expect from bands to go out on tour, and we are 100% going to do that.
Excellent. I mean, that's what I wanted to hear. I would have liked, more solid dates, but
I
I'll
know.
take
I'm
it.
sorry. I don't have them, so I
Oh,
don't even.
okay. All right.
The dates that you have in front of you, I haven't even really looked at that closely
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
That are coming up, so
All
I'm
right.
sure I'll have to look at the website myself and see where we're going.
You may have to. I mean, there's quite a few there, so you might have to.
Yeah,
Um, but no, I mean that's great news because I want to see you guys like I said, I haven't seen you guys probably in about 15, 20 years, I don't think in total it has been now, which is too long. It's too long. And
that's a
I
minute.
enjoyed the show that you're on last time. I just wish I could remember where it was. I'm pretty sure it was Brixton. Um, But yeah, no, I've got a couple of questions left for you, if I may. I can let you get on
Yeah,
with
of course.
and everything. But these are more about yourself and your sort of like background and whatnot. But what I want to find out are your three most pivotal records of your life, kind of thing. So not necessarily your favorite albums or records or
Right,
tracks, but the ones that kind of made you want to excuse me, made you want to play drums,
right.
made you want to be a musician, full stop. Or just one that changed your life at one point.
Yeah, sure. The three, I'll give you three. I would say it's a little tough to pick which Zeppelin record because mostly because Zeppelin kind of as one big chunk was like the first um, stuff that I really started playing and started loving drums. But I think I'll go with Houses of the Holy. I think I'll choose that Zeppelin record because it has some of the coolest grooves on it, I think. And I can kind of, when I think back to that time, I can remember specifically trying to learn a couple of those parts, like the song remains the same drum beat. I very vividly remember mowing my parents' lawn and listening to that song and trying to figure out how I was going to play that. So I'll go with that one. That was a big one.
Cool.
It's a little tricky to do Rush also because Rush is definitely second, but probably I'll have to go with Hemispheres record just because it kind of jump started my love of progressive music and like really getting notey and playing all kinds of crazy stuff. And Hemispheres, Rush has admitted that Hemispheres, they almost went a little too far with that one. But at the time, that's probably why I liked it so much because it was just so cerebral and just learning those parts was like in a huge drumming education, really, like a crazy drumming education. Which kind of leads me to the last one, which is the Cynic record, the first Cynic record, Focus, which is just totally out there. But it brought in styles of music that had no business joining, and they somehow did it and just created this thing that was so incredibly unique that it was just inspiring on another level. And it just also got me into listening to music differently and being in general just opening up my mind to a lot of different styles. And I no longer was the kid that thought anything that wasn't Slayer was garbage. And I was suddenly like, oh, these jazz guys are awesome, like getting into all that kind of stuff and just not like shutting myself off because of some stupid reason and just hearing music as music, and that was kind of what got me going there. So, and now I just enjoy music all over the like whatever styles and everything. And I think that Cynic record really opened my brain up to that kind of thinking.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'd go with Zeppelin, Houses, Rush, Hemispheres, and Cynic Focus would probably be the three biggies.
Nice. No, I mean I mean Zeppelin from the land of Zeppelin over here. So you know
Yeah.
their body of work, their legacy, their are absolutely fantastic. Excuse, I was coughing. Excuse, that's why it looks like I'm crying.
Oh,
I'm not. Honest.
stereotypical drummer answers, I know, but still,
Oh
I
no, I
mean,
mean,
it's a reason because
yeah,
it's so good.
yeah. I mean, John Bonham, amazing. Neil Peart, amazing. Um, I don't know who the drummer for Cynic is, but I
Sean
don't.
Reinert.
Sean Renner, and that's one out. That's one album I'm going to check out because I don't think I've heard that. So, but
It's weird. Just be ready to
oh
be
no,
like, what? This is weird. So, but it's
I'm good.
really cool.
I'm good with weird. But
All
Rush,
right.
it's another band. It's actually Rush. My DJ name is from a Rush song.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, what's that?
Force 10.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So I DJ Force 10. I use the Roman numeral for the X because it works on
sure.
two different levels. One is a 10 and one is a pun. Um, unintentional at the time, but it just turned out that way. Um, but yeah, no, I love Rush. Like, they're a legendary band.
Absolutely.
Absolutely fantastic musicianship, songwriting, everything. It's just,
Yeah.
just pop a record on and just zone out completely.
Learning their stuff is like going to university for music theory and music just in general. Just and not just the drums, but learning Geddy's parts and learning Alex's part, just learning everything how it goes together and how they thought of it all together. It's like it really is very much like getting an education.
Yeah, no, you're right. I've tried to play along, I've failed.
Yeah, it's
It's,
yeah, it's brutal.
but it it's one of those things like it just makes you a better player anyway because you're trying to push yourself, or it makes you, like you say, think differently,
For sure.
like it is an education. But I will check out the Cynic. I will check. Got it written down in front of me now. I'm going to
Okay.
check that out as soon as as soon as I stop this interview. In fact, but yeah, no, that's fantastic. I got one last question for you then. Uh,
Okay.
what are your hobbies away from Killswitch, away from drumming? What do you do to kind of either get away from it, or you've got any other kind of like passions?
Well, you saw the cat for a while,
Yep.
Steve hanging out here. I
Yep.
love animals. There was another one I saw that was briefly walking around in the background. I actually have four of them and a dog, and I love them to death.
Wow.
So big on animals. I like being outside and walking around, and nothing too crazy, but I love a good old fashioned hike up the hillside or something. That's always nice. And then just reading. I've been doing a lot more reading lately, and I like it. So you can kind of combine the cats and the reading together. That's cool.
Yes, I was going to say I find that with my dog or dogs, they sit on my lap and I'm reading, and it's just like one of those moments where it's they can perfect,
Yeah,
and
that's wonderful.
it's especially this time of year. It's quite cold here, so it keeps you warm as well, which is good.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Um,
great. It's very cozy feeling.
yeah. What are you reading at the moment, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm rereading one of my old favorites now. It's from the Stephen King Dark Tower series. It's the
Okay.
book four of the Dark Tower series, Wizard and Glass.
Oh no.
And that series is one of my favorites. But I do like a lot of Stephen King. But yeah, that's what I just for whatever on a whim, I'm like, I want to read that book again. So I just started reading that one.
I haven't read Dark Towers in a while. I have to dig that
Yeah, I
out.
really like the Dark. I mean, I like King in general, but the Dark Tower is just it's very different for him, and I just think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I just read one of his son's books, Nosferatu, um, but it's N-O-2.
Yep, I know what you mean. I've heard about that. I kind of have that on in my I don't know what's the word for it in my sights as eventually
To do
getting on the TBR. So
that. Yeah.
yeah,
But no, the book's great. Like I'm enjoying about halfway through at the moment, really enjoying it. So
great.
fantastic. But Justin, I want to say thank you for your time again. I really appreciate it. Everyone, the new Killswitch Engage album is out on the 21st of February. It is called The Consequence. It is out via Metal Blade Records. So it is available at all your good stockists worldwide because Metal Blade are a huge metal label, so they've got distribution everywhere. So there's no excuse for not buying the vinyl.
They're,
Please,
they're pretty big. They're a fairly well known label.
yeah, they're there somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah.
Um,
We're honored to be on them. They're wonderful. It's great.
yeah, no, it's a great label. I love a lot of their output, so it's always good with me. But no, Justin, honest, thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having me.
No problem at all. Yeah, have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks. And we'll be out there. We'll be out there your way soon enough.
Fantastic.
Trust me. And then hope to see you there.
Excellent.
Have a good one.
Thank you.